having a great relationship is key. So, and having a great relationship means spending time, feeling understood, and making sure that you have alignment in vision, alignment in goals, and true support of one another. So that, at the end of the day, is what makes successful teams in general. Bias towards marketing is definitely my natural strong suit as well. So I've always been a marketer at heart, and I know the importance of brand. I know the importance of voice. I know the importance of message. I know the importance of having customers want to buy from people and humans, and I think we had those philosophies even in the early days of boring industries like the financial service industry that I decided to choose. But we did things differently. And I think that having a CMO and having leadership that also understands your vision, understands that voice, can then translate all of that to the right customers, to attracting the right buyers, to ensuring that we have, that the values of the brand then attract the right values of the customers and the people that we essentially need in our business. And at the end of the day, revenue solves all problems, and we've got to go get customers, and that's the job of marketing, is to support to go drive revenue. So there's no, I would say, I used to say this to every one of my leaders, that you have the most important function. These are all what I've now learned over the years, is I call it now it's the baton. So, so it's the baton from marketing to the sales to the customer success to get it to the finish line. But it's like that relay race that will never end. So it is a relay race versus one department's more important than the others, but it does have to work together. And so for us, we've always driven digital businesses. I'm now focused on enterprise selling. So we've got ABM metrics that are mostly in play. Digital will also be important when we launch on the small business side. So it just depends on the avenue. But leading indicators and the things that I think that are most important are conversions through the funnel. So truly, at the end of the day, it's what's coming in the pipe, and from MQL to SQL to opportunity to close, and however you phrase it in between. But it's about filling that funnel and ensuring that, and I've seen every kind of marketing chart that funnels go this way and like every which way, but there is still a process to get a customer to close, and then it loops back around, right? And so I think conversion through the funnel is probably something that I'm always wanting to keep track of, and having goal targets within that. And so and I think it's weekly. I think that even as businesses, like, it's never, even if they're slow cycle businesses, like, it is important to continue to track you from your website to your email. And now in marketing, oh my God, there's so much to do. There is so much to do. I don't know how you sleep at night as a CMO now, because there are so many ways to get to your customer, and it almost feels like you have to do it all to reach your customer because of the saturation in all of the marketing engines and the competitive landscape. And so you do want to make sure that you're trying not to do it all, and that you are able to get focused on what is actually moving the needle. So tracking through the funnel and really tracking conversion through the funnel is, I would say, the most important piece of the marketing KPI. I definitely look for, first and foremost, the value principle, right? So we talked about that in the beginning. I think that we can't not hire based on, I got to spend time with this team. I got to make sure that it's the right person for the team, not just the competency level on the job. So that's the first part of it that is super important to me. But I would say on the competency piece of it, I want somebody, in marketing, I think that I'm looking for a leader who is ROI driven. So I do want to make sure that I've met a lot of marketers that have really great vision and they're very creative, and that is an important part of it. But how does it actually translate into dollars to the bottom line? And I want a metrics driven leader. And so I am all about spending dollars on the funnel, and I'm all about trying different things, and I'm all about it, but I want to ensure that every dollar I put in, I have a calculated amount of dollars I put out. And so that is truly important. And finding a leader that understands and can track and has a track record of success from an ROI based approach from marketing, and can actually tangibly show you that I want to see that. And so that's important. And it's not just important from a CMO standpoint. I think that tracking and KPIs, even down to people ask, like, how can you have KPIs for content? You can have KPIs and track success across the entire marketing ecosystem. And so that is important to me first and foremost. So human values and the competency piece would be on ROI driven and tangibility of dollars in, dollars out. Is, I think, super, super key. And then lastly, I want somebody who's going to be, an out of the box thinker. I think right now that's something that, especially as a leader. So I think that when you're having subject matter experts for social or for content, whatever, you want those subject matter experts. But in a leader, I want somebody who's not one subject matter expert. I want somebody who can span across and that can understand the trends of what's happening, who's on top, who's relevant in marketing, because what you and I worked on, Kevin, 2 years ago is not what's like, there's so much evolution in what's taken place. So I do believe that, and that's why I love this part of the business so much, because there's so much changing and it's a challenge. Like, you have to stay on top of it. And algorithms are changing and trends are changing and the funnels looks different and there's so much to do. So I want a leader who has that vision for it, but can span across all is constantly learning and growing, and is willing to try different things, and is willing to kind of stay one step ahead of what's to come. And so knows where the puck is going and I don't know how exactly to describe that, but I want somebody who's creative and that can kind of see it. And you've got to have a leader who wants to take some risk, because part of marketing is it cannot be boring, right? That's when I think it's not successful, is you got to have somebody who's willing to take risks. The amount of fights you and I have gotten over the years, healthy conflict, right? But we gotta push each other, and we've got to take risks and try different things and have experimental dollars as well to see where stuff lands. And you got to have fun. I think that's important, and somebody who really gets the brand vision and voice is also really important. So.